Senate President reiterates the commitment of APC-led government to provide the dividends of democracy to the people as former Senate President joins the ruling government. Plus, latest reports from the Gambia say ECOWAS coalition troops have been moved into the Gambia to secure strategic positions. This is NTA Panorama. I'm Joseph Johnson. Hello and welcome to the program. The presidency has denied a report that President Muhammadu Buhari, who is holidaying abroad, is dead. Presidential spokespersons Femi Adesina and Garba Shehu, in separate rebuttals, emphasized that the report is untrue. They wished best wishes to all who wish Buhari well, while those who carry evil rumors grace to repent. Meanwhile, former chairman of the Board of Trustees of the People's Democratic Party, Chief Tony Aneni, has condemned the masterminds of the media report that the health condition of President Muhammadu Buhari could have worsened, leading to possible death in Germany. Chief Aneni, in a statement, dismissed the report as the handiwork of those who not only do not wish the president well, but also do not mean well for Nigeria. The elder statesman said those behind the report, in their hurried bid to propagate their mischief and falsehood, forgot that the president left Nigeria for London and not Germany for vacation, during which he would undergo routine medical checkup. He advised the media, especially online media platforms, to always verify sensitive reports before they publish. Chief Aneni said by so doing, they will save their news subjects and themselves unnecessary embarrassment. And the presidency says it won't be distracted from pursuing concrete governance and better the lives of Nigerians, despite media attacks by those who don't wish Nigeria well. Reacting to attacks by a former member of the House of Representatives from Kano, Dr. Junaidu Mohammed, the presidency says, though he is entitled to his opinion, he is not entitled to this misrepresentation of facts about concrete achievements of the Buhari administration. In a statement signed by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, says the administration has left no one in doubt that Boko Haram has been dislodged, as no town or village in the northeast is under their control. In the corruption war, Garba Shehu pointed out that since the coming of the Buhari administration, the country has saved billions and trillions of naira, which could have been diverted to private pockets. The presidency urged Nigerians to ignore people like Dr. Junaidu, whose stock in trade is to attack presidents. Now, let's turn our attention to the Gambia, because latest reports say ECOWAS coalition troops who have been on standby in Senegal have moved into Gambia to secure strategic positions. Comic Force Commander Air Commodore Tajuddin Yusuf confirmed that the troops met no resistance. The Gambian security forces are said to have rather been friendly and welcoming. The Nigerian Air Force also conducted armed recce of the country from their base in Dakar, Senegal, without resistance. Makut Simon Macham reports that the troops are expected to prepare the grounds for the return of President Adama Barrow to the country. New Gambian President Adama Barrow says he will return to the country as soon as a security fact check is concluded. This follows the departure into exile of former President Yahya Jammeh. Correspondent Makut Simon Macham reports from Dhaka.
For Yahya Jammeh, it was a matter of time, and so when the time came, he was left with no option but to pack up and leave not only the power he has hung onto for 22 years, but a country he loomed large over while he held sway. After sustained pressure by ECOWAS, led by President Muhammadu Buhari and ECOWAS chairperson Ellen Johnson Sirleaf of Liberia, Yahya Jammeh finally caved in when Presidents Lansana Conte of Guinea and Mohamed Ould Aziz of Mauritania spent the last 3 days making him see reasons why he should leave to avoid military action by ECOWAS forces who were on standby in neighboring Senegal. At about midnight Saturday, Jammeh, together with his family, boarded a plane to exile in Guinea-Conakry, from where it is believed he will move on to Equatorial Guinea to avoid possible arrest and prosecution by the International Criminal Court, since that country is not a party to the court. His supporters, including some military personnel, could not hold back tears as the man they had known for most part of their lives waved them goodbye without any certainty of a return date. Meanwhile, the new president, Adama Barrow, told NTA News in an exclusive interview in Dakar, Senegal, that he will soon return to the Gambia.
Yes, studying the security situation, and we are under the ECOWAS mandate. I think when everything is ready, we will be back, but very soon.
Asked why he insisted that Jammeh leaves the country, he said security was the main issue.
We don't want him to stay in the Gambia because we cannot guarantee his security. The security situation in the Gambia is fragile. It's a very difficult situation. And if you are allowing a former president to stay in your country, you have to guarantee him security. If you cannot guarantee that, it will be impossible for us to keep him. That's why our stand is let him leave to a foreign land. Maybe in the future, we might come back if things settle down. But as of now, it's not possible.
Meanwhile, commander of the ECOWAS Standby Force, Nigeria's Air Commodore Tajuddin Oladele Yusuf, has said the troops remain on standby as their mandate is to ensure that democracy and stability return to the Gambia.
The process will not be completed until democracy is installed, peace is ensured. So it's not, enthroning democracy is the first step, ensuring that there is peace. After that is another step.
Now that the world has stood by Adama Barrow to ensure that his mandate as the president of Gambia is actualized, no doubt Adama Barrow has the responsibility to ensure that he proves to the world that he is truly a democrat that will not only reconcile Gambians, but also ensure that sound democratic culture is established in that country. From Dakar in Senegal, I am Makut Simon Macham, NTA News.
Still staying with the Gambia, President Adama Barrow says a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to investigate alleged human rights abuses under Jammeh's 22-year rule will be established, as he therefore enjoined the people of the Gambia to team up with his administration as he settles down to rebuild the political and constitutional structures of the country. He spoke exclusively with our correspondent, Makut Simon Macham, in Dakar, Senegal.
Gambians, as you settle down?
We have a very friendly campaign. Our campaign was all based on principle, no personal sentiments. I think that has put us in a very strong position to unite the country. A lot of APRC supporters, the ruling party, some of them came to congratulate me because of the line of campaign we took.
A full package of the exclusive interview with President Barrow comes up at 10 o'clock tonight. And the Gambian President Adama Barrow has acknowledged the concerted efforts by ECOWAS leaders to sanitize the political landscape of the Gambia as former President Yahya Jammeh settles down for life in exile. He particularly appreciated President Muhammadu Buhari on his commitment to seeing the standoff to a logical conclusion. Ayo Adewi reports.
Nigeria's big brother role in restoring peace and good governance in the Gambia did not go unnoticed by President Adama Barrow, who fought the battle of his life, backed by President Muhammadu Buhari and other West African leaders to have his mandate restored. ECOWAS leaders moved to ensure that Yahya Jammeh gave up power after losing elections last month. The palpable fear among the Gambians over the cloudy political situation was overwhelming, making the intervention of the regional political bloc in the standoff unavoidable.
And I think it was a good move by ECOWAS. We don't want this one to set precedent that will bring other problems.
The coast appears clear now for Adama Barrow to hit the ground running with the final departure of Yahya Jammeh, who will be starting a new life in Guinea. Barrow was full of praises for President Muhammadu Buhari and the ECOWAS for standing firm to ensure that the will of the people prevailed.
So he was key, and he took his time to fly to Banjul twice. That shows that the interest we have for that country and the interest we have for that dialogue. So he played a very, very important role, and we thank him for that. I know he has been an advocate of democracy. He contested elections so many times, but he was patient.
Jammeh, who has ruled the West African country for over 2 decades, lost the last presidential post to opposition candidate Adama Barrow. He accepted the results but later rejected them, citing irregularities. Ayo Adewi, NTA News.
Just time to remind you that you can watch these news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Stay with us here on NTA Panorama. We have more stories for you after the break.
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one. Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate but temporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
Together, no matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. Let's stop fighting each other. Let us live as one. It doesn't matter where you come from, your tribe or religion, man, woman or child. It doesn't matter who you are. Put Nigeria first. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. How can we develop when we're always in crisis? Families have become refugees in their country. No matter our differences, show some understanding. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
Nigeria, the only country we can train with remarkable potentials to excel. Let us believe in ourselves and change our attitude for the sake of our country and generations unborn. Let us revive our cultural values, which are our essence as a nation. Let us renew the spirit of patriotism and hope in our dear country. Do not take or give bribe. Be punctual always. No more African time. We can't expect to be global citizens and operate on African time. Join the queue. Insist that people are attended to on a first-come basis, no matter who they are or where they come from.
Nigeria, good people, great nation.
You're welcome back. This is NTA Panorama with me, Joseph Johnson. Senate President Bukola Saraki has reiterated the APC-led government's commitment to providing the dividends of democracy to the people. This was at the flag-off of a rail project lining some communities in Zamfara State. Jamilu Ibrahim reports.
The 61-kilometer road project that links various communities in Zurmi, Birnamagaji and Kaurnamura local government areas awarded by Zamfara state government at the cost of more than 4.3 billion naira was part of Governor Abdulaziz Yari's promises to people in the areas during his 2015 election campaigns. Senate President Dr. Abubakar Bukola Saraki, who flagged up the construction of the road, eulogized the commitment of the governor in providing dividends of democracy to people of the state despite the prevailing economic challenges.
I've told that this request for this road has been on for over 20, 30 years. So what we are doing is a great achievement for the governor and the APC government.
Zamfara State Governor Alhaji Abdulaziz Yari Abubakar says the contracting firm has already received 60% of the total contract sum.
From the inception of this administration, we have built over 700 kilometer roads for both federal and state roads, and 93% of these projects have been completed and commissioned.
Minister of Defense responds on behalf of the benefiting communities.
For the entire people of this zone, I say a big thank you.
The project is to be completed within 12 months. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
And former Senate President Ken Nnamani and former Governor of Old Anambra State, Chief Jim Nwobodo, have registered as members of the All Progressives Congress APC during the ongoing registration exercise taking place in the Southeast Zone. Chimobi Walter Naji reports.
The re-registration exercise is aimed at wooing political heavyweights in the Southeast Zone into joining the party with a view to making it stronger and more viable ahead of the 2019 general elections. The Southeast chairman of the party, Ima Enuku, said the choice of the two elder statesmen registering in the zone is a clear indication that the party has gained acceptance in the zone, and called on other interested politicians to take the opportunity to register and give voice to the zone at the national level.
People may say we'll start things late, but we'll calculate before we start. After our calculation, if you look at the political scenery in the country, you will see that all our giants are being emptied into APC because the decision has been taken.
Senator Ken Nnamani, while speaking at his residence after registration, said his aim of joining the party is to reunite the zone under a common front to restore its place in the national political field.
If you have new information that makes you to change your mind, it will be folly for you not to change your mind. The Southeast has a role to play in our nation. We cannot distance ourselves and play from outside and be crying under the rain. No person will notice that.
Senator Jim Nwobodo pointed out that the party is well positioned to help the nation move forward and charged members to remain loyal to the party and not indulge in anti-party activities.
There is joy in belonging to a country that is a family. Please, if you have misgivings about anybody, drop those misgivings today and become brothers and sisters. Because I know what to tell our people, I know how to discuss with them, and they will join our party.
Other party stalwarts who spoke at the occasion said the exercise will further boost the party's credibility in the zone. High point was the handing over of the registration slip to the registered members. In Enugu, Chimobi Walter Naji, NTA News.
Turning to the legislature, where ministries, departments and agencies are challenged to do more to comply with the federal character principle as stipulated in the 1999 Constitution as amended. Members of the House Committee on Federal Character, led by Chairman Ahmed Idris, gave the challenge to some agencies that appeared before them.
The agencies include the EFCC, the Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund, NSITF, and the Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital, Maiduguri.
Share with us whether the Commission is in compliance with the provision of the Constitution as it relates to even distribution of staffs.
We tried as much as possible. Like in Lagos and Ekiti, the recruits, we had to go looking for candidates.
The staff representation was far more nationalistic before the onset of the insurgency. At the peak of the insurgency, including very senior doctors and consultants that the hospital trained, all of them left the services of the hospital.
Members of the committee, however, urged that in subsequent recruitment exercises, these anomalies are urgently addressed.
The compliance level, I would say, for most agencies has been very discouraging. It's not quite encouraging, and it is a prayer that as we are doing the job, we'll get over the imbalances.
The federal character principle seeks to ensure that appointments fairly reflect the linguistic, ethnic, religious, and geographic diversity of the country. From the National Assembly, Dennis Adigmloye, NTA News.
Capacity building and articulation of potential have been identified as the pivot of the youths achieving the Nigerian of their dreams. Senate President Bukola Saraki said this in a message to the first Nigerian Youth Parliament lecture in Abuja.
The first Nigerian Youth Parliament lecture had in attendance youth parliamentarians from the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT. Senate President Bukola Saraki, represented by the Chairman, Senate Committee on FCT, Dino Milaye, urged the youth parliamentarians to show commitment and resilience in matters that concern them. He advised the youth to shun all forms of social vices and reposition their vision for a better society.
The field is very, very veritable for them. The field is very, very green for them. And they must also be part and parcel of policy implementation and formulation so that with this, they can begin to attain their space in national politics.
Speaker, Nigerian Youth Parliament, Ayodele Obe said, members will continue to support the vision of Not Too Young to Run, which seeks to increase youth participation in governance.
We are a strong supporter of the new bill being proposed by the Senate, particularly the Senate President, that intends to bring about, to engender 7.5 million jobs for Nigerian youth.
One of the issues raised is the role of the social media on good governance in Nigeria. In Abuja, Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
All servicing youth corps members are to be enrolled in the National Health Insurance Scheme, NHIS, to enable them to access qualitative health care. Executive Secretary NHIS Professor Usman Yusuf said this when he visited the Director General NYSC, Brigadier General Suleiman Kazaure, in his office. Olayinka Ojo again reports.
The decision is coming on the heels of controversies that trailed the death of youth corps members during the 2016 orientation exercise. The proposal followed the presidential directive on evolving measures that will enhance access to quality health care for corps members. Professor Yusuf explained that NHIS officials would be in all camps during the orientation exercise to capture biometric data of all serving youth corps members as a first step in the enrollment process.
During this service here, they are serving our nation. The nation needs to serve them. And that is my priority here. We need to cover our kids, and the president is worried about the loss of life and is worried about how our kids are faring all over the nation, and we're here to help.
Director General NYSC, Brigadier General Suleiman Kazaure, while responding, added it would help to advance youth corps members' welfare policy for the scheme.
We want the corps members to be covered comprehensively so that they will be treated adequately.
The health initiative, according to the heads of the organization, would prevent failure of the program and services of HMOs, as was the case in the past. In Abuja, Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
25 years after over 100 Nigerian Air Force personnel died in a plane crash at Ejigbo, Lagos, the service has honored the pilots and engineer of the ill-fated C-130 aircraft. It named the newly constructed 2 blocks of 6 by 3 bedrooms for married officers after them. Wing commanders Pere Alabosun, Ali Mamadi, and squadron leader J.A. Adeza. The Chief of Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, who inaugurated the buildings at the headquarters Logistics Command in Lagos, said the officers embarked on a mission to save lives that morning, but paid the ultimate price. Let's talk sports now. Nigeria's junior tennis players at the African Junior Championship in Lomé